look at this. A spectacular landscape of amazing beauty.
For a region with such a harsh environment, Arizona boasts an incredible diversity of wildlife. Not surprisingly, many of the creatures that thrive here are reptiles.
See this? That's a snake hole right there.
Reptiles are low-impact predators. They're solitary hunters.
Grabs onto his creature, and then he starts massaging. We're talking venom delivery.
They don't need a lot of food or water,
He becomes his own canteen.
and they usually have a tough hide or other good defense mechanisms.
He's a very difficult animal to swallow.
In short, they're survivors. Now let's find out why they're survivors.
Always watch where you step.
A toad. In Arizona, this is a land of extremes. For example, it has extreme temperature. 1 minute, it's 30 degrees. A few hours later, the temperature climbs to more than 110 degrees. It also has extreme weather conditions. It can pass months on end without a drop of rain, and then the monsoon season, the sky explodes and rivers fill with water. Hold on to your hats! Woo! Woo! It also has extreme habitats and ecosystems. For example, if you look over here, you see a very parched, dry desert where plants barely survive. Well, over this side, look at that. It's relatively lush. You have lots of grasses and trees spread about. Now, living within many of these ecological communities which make up the vast environmental landscape of Arizona are lots of different creatures. And what all these creatures share in common is that surviving in this tough landscape is very challenging.
One unique way to get around in Arizona is to soar above it.
Nothing like checking out the landscape of Arizona by hot air balloon.
It gives me a greater sense of its vastness and diversity, the rolling hills, the farmland, and the dense cacti forests. It's very peaceful up here, but I know that below me, there's a flurry of activity. There's nothing I want to do more when I come to Arizona than to look for as many snakes as I can find. I'll start my search in the Chiricahua mountain range, which lies on the eastern border with New Mexico.
For a herpetologist, this is the ultimate treasure hunt because underneath this rock is a very amazing creature. Hello. Yes, I see you. I guess batteries are included with this animal. This is one of the more beautiful serpents living out in the Southwest. A gorgeous snake. It's a western diamondback rattlesnake, and it gets its name from those diamonds that go along its backside. This animal is probably as fat as my wrist. And as size goes, we're looking at the second largest and longest rattlesnake living in the New World. In fact, that's the only place you find true rattlesnakes, is in North, Central, and South America. Just listen to that. Just imagine you're walking through the desert at night, and you don't see where you're going, and you hear that rattling sound right near your ankle. That would wake you up. So why do rattlesnakes have rattles? An excellent question. To answer that, you have to travel back into North America, maybe 10,000 years or more ago, when there were these giant creatures, what we call megafauna, buffalo and big animals like that walking through the plains. Now, rattlesnakes like to hang out in those areas, so they developed rattles as a warning mechanism so large hoofed creatures wouldn't come on in and stomp on them. Look at that rattle. Isn't that great? You see that? You can actually see the layers of skin, those buttons, how they stack up, and then I just turn this button and I turn them off. They have a pretty nasty reputation, but I don't believe that reputation is completely deserved. This animal is only gonna bite you if you mess with it, if you step on it. And I once read an interesting study about rattlesnakes, and something like 70% of all rattlesnake bites involved alcohol. And I don't think it was the rattlesnake that was drinking.
Oh my gosh. Where's my mother when I need it? I was just walking through this really beautiful desert, and a jumping cholla just attacked me. And I mean, it really got me good. I'm not just like doing a cactus demo here. That thing is all the ways in, and I can feel it. It's really messing with me, man, and I'm afraid to take it out. What kind of con are you? Oh.
The Chiricahua Mountains contain a variety of habitats, including a dense, lush wooded forest, not something you immediately associate with Arizona.
Shh, look at this. Cow patty, just for you. Come on. This pine log right there. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Have you ever seen a snake with such colors? In fact, this one can even be more beautiful because he's getting ready to shed. I know he's ready to shed because his belly's blue. That's called the opaque cycle. It's basically what happens as the skin is pushed off their body and they exfoliate, just literally shed their skin off. This is the mountain king snake, the Arizona mountain king snake. Brilliant bands of red and yellow, and they're even brighter with that black. And these are aposematic colors. They're warning colors. They're a sign of danger. Now, in the case of this animal, it's a bluff. It looks like a very dangerous snake, but he's harmless. He's harmless to people, but he's not harmless to other animals. This is a creature that'll eat snakes. This is a creature that'll eat lizards. It'll eat rodents. And as with the other king snakes and milk snakes, he's got a very special way of killing his prey. Grabs on very tightly, coils around, and then constricts. Wonderful creature. There you go. Well, hello there. Look at this. Where you going? Too easy. Wonderful snake. It's a great serpent. Look at him. Good size. This is a gopher snake. Very, very common, long-bodied snake, a colubrid that we find throughout the Southwest. And in fact, they extend right into the central part of the United States. You're just a great snake. Okay, now we want to find lots of snakes, so you show me. Okay, I'll follow you. All right, I'm coming. Where'd I go? Up the hill? Okay, I can go there. I'm waiting.
Coming up next on the Jeff Corwin Experience, alien abductions.
Its body freezes in mid-flight, and then the lights, and then the probing.
And then later, more probing and abductions. Don't worry, the snake won't feel a thing.
How's my patient doing, Jeff? He's okay.
After a full day of herp hunting, I'd like to see what kind of nighttime activities the desert inspires. And I'm going to do that with the help of my friend, a mammologist by the name of Katie Hinman. Hummingbird feeders are a very common sight in eastern Arizona. Bats sometimes feed from these instead of the natural resources like the various cacti, which rely on the bats for pollination. Katie is studying the effects of these feeders on the bats themselves and the plants that may not be getting the help from the bats that they require.
And when you're studying bats, a mist net is a very important tool. Originally, these things were designed to capture birds, but some very smart mammalogists studying bats discovered they're excellent for capturing these secretive flying mammals. So what about the light now with these bats? They're actually seeing this net, aren't they?
Yeah, they can see it real well with these lights on. So normally what I would do once I got the nets all set up, just kind of move away so I'm not making too much noise and shut the lights off.
All right, cut the lights. Here we go. Now let's see what happens. What is he? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my wife, Mom. Oh, got a bat. No. No. Yes,
Yeah,
I do. We got a whole bunch of
two
bats. See, I'm sitting here. I'm climbing around.
We've got a long-nosed bat and a long-tongued bat. There's two species of nectar-feeding bats here.
Awesome.
And we got one of each, so you'll be able to see what they look like.
So let's have a race. Who can untangle their bat first? I win.
Oh, Oh, wait a
I'm the better
minute. You had a head
biologist.
start.
No, this species right here is a long-tongued bat. This one is a long-nosed bat, although it almost seems like this one should be called the long-nosed bat.
Actually, yeah, the long-nosed bat has a shorter nose.
Right.
And probably the long-tongued bat has a shorter tongue.
Shorter tongue. So it was a less dyslexic scientist who came up with that law. All righty, I've got a nice specimen right here.
Okay, great.
And you're gonna get some pollen samples from him?
Yeah, that's the first thing I like to do. So actually, if you could turn it so its head, we'll start with its head, because when
Okay.
they stick their heads into the flower, they often get the pollen right on the top of the head.
Of course, by getting the pollen, what she's able to do is then identify the plants, the species of plants that this animal has visited during its nighttime of feeding. I think of doing bat research like this as being akin to something like an alien abduction. This thing's just like in the middle of Arizona, you know, flying around, and suddenly its body freezes in mid-flight, and then the lights, and then the probing, and then
But then we let it go.
And then we let it go.
And none of its friends believe it. Now, I'm just going to pick off some of these parasites so
Yeah.
I can look at them under the microscope later.
now
So,
sex them?
yeah.
A female or?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a female. It's real obvious if they're
Yeah.
a male. So.
Yeah.
And you can see...
Why are they obvious? What do you? what is? I'm only joking. I see a very clear liquid in a vial there, and I'm guess that's either your private stash of hooch or it has something to do with these bats.
Oh, yeah.
So which one is it?
This is bat hooch.
Okay.
So,
That's what I was hoping.
give her a...
Ooh, look at that. Oh, look at that tongue. Here's an animal that really has no grace when it comes to eating. Literally was, or at least no sense of humility. It's been captured, it's being held, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's good stuff. I like that sugar water. So you do that just basically because there's been some stress involved.
Yeah, and basically because it's fun to watch.
It is really fun to watch. Woo! Cool stuff.
Gave her a little too much to
That was
eat.
a lot of
Didn't
fun.
want
I
to
had
take
a lot
it.
of fun. All right.
Thanks very much.
I had fun, Katie. Now I gotta go catch some snakes. All right. Hi, my name's Clivis Corwin, and if you want a lot of fun, you gotta watch my cousin's show. His name's Jeff Corwin, and it's really funny. Yeah, you're really gonna like, ah, snake! Oh, we got a snake right here. Let's go get him. All right. Yeah. Oh man, look at this. A beautiful non-venomous snake. I love Arizona. Beautiful, beautiful animal. This is a long-nosed snake. They're nocturnal. It's coming out at night. It's looking for food. We got it just as it was starting to make its way across the road. And lucky was us. If it was someone else who wasn't paying attention or didn't like snakes, this guy would have been road burger. Just look at him. Beautiful. And this is a good-sized snake, too. They don't get very huge. So, you know, this one's pretty large. They only get about 2.5, 3 feet. It's very clear why he's called a long-nosed snake. By having sort of an elongated, narrow muzzle, he has a natural tool that he can use to either burrow into the earth or wedge his way into rocks. And they'll do that during the daytime. During the daytime hours, these animals are usually out of sight. This is an animal that can use its sharp nose to push his way into a pack rat nest or the nest of a kangaroo rat, and it won't actually be able to eat the adults, but this animal can sure quickly suck down the little pinkies. That's what we call baby rodents, pinkies. It'll also eat lizards, all sorts of things. Apparently this guy was heading that way. We're just gonna give him a little lift, send him to the other side of the road. There you go. And look at this, just in time. We're getting a little rain. We've been out all night, but we got our payoff. A beautiful, spectacular long-nosed snake. There you go. Here, you go that way, not that way. There you go. Great. Little desert challenge. Just do this, if you would. Let your eyes quickly sweep the landscape. Not yet, before you do that, you look around, you're wondering where all the life is beyond the cacti and these tough desert plants. Just do a quick sweep and tell me if you can see anything from there to there. Okay? Quick sweep. Didn't see anything, did you? Wrong. We can actually see, oh, very funny. We can actually see where life begins. Follow me. See? See that? See the dove? See what she's doing? She doesn't want us to go near something. It's like as if she had broken a wing, because this is what she's protecting. Two baby doves. They're gray to match the earth and the rocks. And by freezing, they're hoping to disappear. This insect is called a walking stick. And what's cool about him is that he's a mimic. Clearly, it's a stick mimic. And normally when you find them, they're extremely green or they're extremely brown. But this one just perfectly blends in. Gotcha. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? Oh, looks like we got a male and a female. What's great about the Jeff Corwin experience, you get to see nature and the process of life unfold before your eyes. All right, guys, you need some privacy. We're a matchmaking service bringing walking sticks together. That's what we're about.
We see this? It's a reminder that there's beauty in everything. For example, you've got this gnarly cactus armed with barbs and thorns, and inside is just a beautiful flower, just beckoning for a sniff. The cactus stung my eye. I smelled the wrong flower. It's amazing. You just elevate so quickly from the ground. I'm sitting here with my butt hanging over the rail when it was about 6 feet above the ground. And now I'm about 300 or 400 feet above the ground. Remember, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the landing.
Next in the Jeff Corwin experience, just call me Dances with Horned Lizards. Then later, more alien creatures.
You will go to the moon of Endor.
Star log, August 26th, 2060. I've been on the moon of Endor now for 2 weeks. I'm yet to find a spot, but I'll continue to look.
In southeastern Arizona, there's an area at the base of the Chiricahuas that is prime habitat for a well-camouflaged and very fast lizard.
What a cool lizard. This animal is a Texas horned lizard. Sometimes they're called horny toads. And when I was growing up and when I was reading all those snake and lizard books, reptile books, this was the animal that was #1 on my wish list, and that is the horny toad. It's not an amphibian, it's a reptile. It's a lizard that's close. He is covered with an arsenal of very sharp, spiky projections, little thorns coming from its body. Now, there's some things that you just really have to check out in this creature. He's very toad-like in the way he eats. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they call him horny toads, is that when he eats, he's using his tongue to collect insects which adhere to his sticky tongue, and then he pulls them back in. And see how flat he is? Okay, there's a few reasons why he's flat. #1, when he's laying out there, he's absorbing heat energy. More surface area means more heat to be absorbed by the body. #2, it's an excellent defense. Let's say a hognose snake was coming by, and a hognose snake is one of these creatures that love to eat toads, and maybe he's mistaken this animal for a toad or some other sort of lizard, and he starts to try to swallow this animal. He'll puff up, and the combination of making himself very large, as well as with those spiky thorns, those projections, makes him a very difficult animal to swallow. We're going to continue on our trek, and I'm just going to let this creature go right where I found it. See the way he runs?
Ah, I can't win. It's like trouble with rabid tribbles. Isn't that what they call them? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Seeing one of those horned lizards in the wild was a rare experience, but I know of a place close by where I may have the opportunity to see close to 50 of them in one confined place. At
this pen, which is filled with 40 very well camouflaged horned lizards. That's why I'm very careful where I walk, because I would feel horrible to step on one of these beauties. And we're just going to watch, and hopefully we'll get some eating happen.
These 40-odd lizards are part of a study of a variety of natural behaviors. To tell the individuals apart, numbers have been placed on their backs, and 57 likes to eat.
Got it.
You notice he's not actually grabbing the ants with his jaw, but just using his tongue as a sticking mechanism to sort of flap out there like that, grab the ants and pull them in. If you look at the color pattern on this animal, see that? Excellent camouflage. This creature can perfectly blend in with the earthy surroundings in its habitat. It's a place that gets very little rainfall, and when it does rain, it happens in a very specific time of the year. So this creature has to be excellent at conserving water. And he does something really amazing. When it rains and the water hits his body, he can actually use the surface area on his body to channel the water to his mouth. This is, for me, my favorite part about being a naturalist. There are animals all over the world to be observed, but it's that rare moment where you can just sort of stealthily go into an environment, disappear, and see really good animal behavior. See animal behavior that doesn't involve you. The creature just doing what he does best. In this case, it's a Texas horned lizard eating a buffet of harvester ants. Nice. Hello, cutie. Hello. Is that hot? Oh, look at this. Oh, nice. Oh, man. Look at this. Ooh, you got some teeth. We've just discovered a baby diamondback rattlesnake. You can just see there's beautiful diamonds running along the back of its body like that. Now I've got to hold the snake very carefully because she's brand new to the world, extremely fragile. I don't want to damage her in any way. I also have to keep in mind that even though she's maybe a month old, she is armed, she's venomous, they are born venomous, okay? And that venom is potent, and I could be injured if she bites me, so I've just got to hold her very carefully. Just look at that. You can see that brand new tail, that brand new button. Absolutely beautiful. I hope this animal has a chance to live and survive, and I hope people will learn to respect animals like this. I'm going to place her right back.
Coming up next, lizards, toads, and birds. No, not those birds, these birds. We're here at Amark. It's a section of the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base near Tucson.
This is the part, essentially, where planes either come to retire, they're recycled for parts, or they rest before they're used again. And not knowing it, the people that established this Air Force Base have actually created habitat for wildlife. And hopefully, by sort of working our way through this place, we might find a snake, Gila monster, maybe a coyote or two. Or maybe we'll find nothing. We got some pellets right here. Yes, I studied English. We got some. This is the remnants of a lagomorph, or probably a jackrabbit, looking like the size of that. And so maybe we might see that jackrabbit if we look around. See this? Good potential habitat. A lot of the things that you're gonna find on this Air Force base would be hidden under logs. Let me see what's under this one. Oh, look at that. There's something nice. Here's a creature that really gives me the willies. We've got a nice centipede right here. Oh, lost him. Let's see where he went. Forget about the centipede. Look at this. Even better. I want to be careful. He's very fragile. Wow. For me, this is nature's most elegant lizard. It's called a Coleonyx gecko. And they're just very fragile. It feels velvety soft. I mean, just really beautiful. Try to look at the individual scales that go around his face and his body. They're almost like little beads or little pearls of glass. Look at its eyes. You're going to see it do something that 99% of geckos can't do. And that is blink. Because this creature has delicate, gentle little flaps of skin, i.e. eyelids, and most geckos don't have that. Instead, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Wow, a nice find. Got airplanes and geckos. Ooh. This is nice. We've got this retired aircraft. It's shadowing the ground. Oh. It's a nice panel right here. Never pass up a panel to turn over. And I'm very glad I turned it over. Look at this. We've just found one of the toughest amphibians living on the planet. At least the toughest frog in North America. This is Couch's spade-foot toad. He is really cool. Look at this guy. Wow, look at those eyes. Looks like an alien. And in fact, he has a life that's more bizarre than any alien you'd find living up there. Throughout much of the year, this creature spends its life underground. And he's only active a few weeks out of the year, and that's when the rains are at their heaviest during the monsoon season. So when this creature's underground, it doesn't need any water because he becomes his own canteen. Some scientists speculate that a spade-foot toad can stay under the ground for a number of years, perhaps 2 years or more. They have a tool to dig into the earth and a tool to dig out. And that's why they're called spade-foot toads, because if I turn him over, if you look at his heel, see that little black little shovel? It's a hard, bony-like projection. It's like a spade. It's a shovel this animal uses to part the earth. Just an amazing toad, a perfect ambassador of the desert wildlife. Look at that face. Yes, you will go to the moon of Endor, and then you... We are adjacent to a very active runway here in this Air Force base. As we speak, we've got these anti-tank aircraft called warthogs flying about. And they're a group of animals that live right on top of this airbase that are not even slightly disturbed by all this commotion. And there they are. It's a group of burrowing owls. Amazing birds of prey. What I'm going to try to do is just see how closely I can sneak in. Maybe I can get close. They tend to be pretty precocious and curious. Owls. Let's see what happens. These owls have the ability to excavate a relatively deep den that'll go 7, 8 feet into the earth. huge families. A couple years ago, I was working with an ornithologist in Snake River Bird Sanctuary, which is in Idaho, and he was doing some research in these owls, and we dug up a nest to take account of the offspring, and we found 9 owls, 9 live owls. But in addition to that, we also found 3 sets of owl feet minus bodies. That's something else very interesting about these creatures. These animals practice siblicide. When tension and pressures go up, okay, and when resources are down, when food is not available, these animals will eat each other. The strongest will eat the weakest. Interesting way to solve tensions between members of the family. Geez, when I was growing up, when things got bad between me and my sister, when we were stepping on each other's toes, we might have given each other a crack over the head. We didn't eat each other.
Next on The Experience, one operation you won't find on the Discovery Health Channel.
I don't get close.
Looking out over this terrain, some of which makes up the Saguaro National Park, I do notice the evidence of human development. Tucson is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, and the impact on the wildlife is something that many local naturalists are concerned with. Matt Good is a herpetologist who's studying the impact of human encroachment on tiger rattlesnakes just outside of Tucson.
This snake's been hanging out in this area.
So does each one have its own frequency?
Yeah. Yeah, this one here is 13.3.
He is currently tracking the movement of 20 snakes in the field. Each snake sends out a radio signal emitted from a transmitter which is embedded into the animal's body. This signal is then picked up by Matt's receiver.
Sounds like it's very strong from in there.
Yeah, it's in deep. It's like at the
I
base
see
of all
this?
this stuff. Yeah, sure. You can get the...
Yeah, it's right around here somewhere.
Yeah, you're on it. It's got to be in here close.
There it is.
One of his snakes happens to be in need of a new transmitter, and Matt has kindly agreed to let me help out with replacement surgery. And did I mention that we'll be performing the surgery in my hotel room?
Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. You're not Zelda. I was expecting someone else. Will you excuse me? So what do we got?
We got a snake ready for an implant.
Little surgery?
Yep.
Does this work for you?
That's great, yeah.
Okay.
This is actually a really good situation.
Awesome.
This is what's going inside the cavity of the snake. This will be sending out that frequency, which Matt will then track with his receiver. I don't think you can ever know a rattlesnake so much that you can reach points of being really cavalier. There you go.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, alrighty.
The nice thing about this stuff is if he starts to come out of it a little bit, we can just give him a few more pumps.
Yeah.
You know, or we could add a little more anesthesia. I don't usually have to do that. He's still responding. You can tell just by holding the tail upright. The head's moving a little bit, but he's starting to go down.
Do you have to get any sort of permission from the state to let them know you'll be doing surgery on this animal and stuff like that?
Yeah, actually, this is all highly regulated.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a protocol
Right.
for doing these surgeries, which has been approved by vets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to renew it, and I had to basically tell them what my surgical procedures were, and then they okayed it.
I don't get gloves.
What I'd like you to do, Jeff, is sort of monitor that heart.
Yeah?
Just make sure our guy's doing okay.
Feels pretty strong to me.
It's a little bigger incision than I normally do, just because I
You gotta
get a tag out of there,
You're-
get a telemeter out of there, which can be tricky.
Do you remember the first time you did it by yourself?
Surgery? Yeah, it was way
You
back in like '84.
Were you a little nervous?
Yeah, I mean, I still get, I don't get nervous, but I get pumped up for it, you might say, you know. I want it to go well. I just, obviously, my big concern is just making sure, is the well-being of the animals.
Right.
And, you know, when you have to pull a radio out of these guys like this, it
So there's some stress involved.
definitely.
Like that. You ready for the next one?
Yep, I'm ready for the next one.
Got it?
Now what I'm gonna do is go right into the exact same location. This radius limiter is 11 grams and it'll last for 2 years. How's my patient doing, Jeff?
I think he's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna show you my skills as a seamstress. Mm-hmm. All right, this is the tricky part. I'm gonna sew up the peritoneal cavity.
Right.
It's a very
That's
fine.
inside. Yeah. Is that cat gut? Will that break
This
down?
is no, it's not cat gut. It's a synthetic stuff. I've used cat gut in the past, but this is better.
Yeah. So,
And
but
it
what?
will break down.
Yeah, this
It's called-
dissolves.
Yeah, it's a dissolve.
inside the cavity.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna slide
Yeah.
his head out. Okay. So.
That's cool. Yep, we're done.
Great.
Go ahead and scrub some of that blood off of him. I don't want to put him back out there with all
Yeah.
that dried blood on him. It might attract predators to him or something like that.
And you're not gonna put him out right now. Or
No,
else he would
no.
be.
No, what I have a post-op period
Yeah.
with these guys, you know, and keep a close eye on them, make sure
So
they're
what
doing
about
okay.
how long? With HMOs nowadays, they used to snake
That's
could stay
right.
in for
That's right.
2 or 3 days, but now get him in, get him
Yeah,
out.
There's no way he's going to be able to
Yeah,
afford
what do you
it.
need?
Yeah,
This?
that's exactly. You read my mind. Baby.
Alrighty.
Thanks a lot for your help, Jeff. Really
Oh, it's a
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was fun last night. And
You're
don't worry about this mess. I'll just leave this for the hotel.
Up next, don't touch that tortoise.
Get out.
And I'll tell you why.
If you're too pushy with him, you pick him up, and then they get nervous and he urinates, he's gonna lose that resource.
And you definitely don't want to upset this desert monster. Sailing through the Arizona air makes me feel untouchable. Like, well, I'm above the chaos and no harm can come to me at all. Ah, the joys of the peaceful desert.
Oh, you all right? You okay?
Well, that was interesting. We just found out that gravity is alive and well in Arizona. Boom. For me, this is when the desert is at its most beautiful state. The sun comes up, it illuminates the landscape, everything's glowing, and look, we're surrounded by a century of dense cacti here, and these giants are called saguaro. They're found throughout the Sonoran Desert, and we're in a place where they're protected. This is Saguaro National Park, named after these cacti. Now, these saguaros are pretty much a long-lived plant. They grow very slowly over time, and in fact, you don't start seeing arms until these things are about 60 years in age, and this one here is probably 150 years in age, and it might live as long as 200 years.
Thing, go. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Really nice. Check it out. Hey, buddy. Oh, there's this crap on my finger. This is a desert tortoise. This is an animal that really is built perfectly for surviving in the desert habitat. First thing you notice, he's got good camouflage. He could easily blend in with boulders and rocks and the substrate that makes up this habitat. He is also excellent at conserving water. And his ability to conserve water, or actually the way he conserves water, is why I'm not really picking him up too much. I really don't want to mess with him. Because this animal uses his bladder as a reservoir for water when it's not available. And so when it's dry, which is throughout much of the year in Arizona, he can extract water from his bladder. If you're too pushy with him and you pick him up and then they get nervous and he urinates, he's gonna lose that resource. See the feet? Look at that. As far as turtle goes, and he doesn't have the water to sort of distribute his weight. And they're just wonderful. A lot of people look at these animals, and it's pretty easy to think, well, you know what? A creature like this might make a nice pet. I'm not saying he wouldn't do well in captivity, but every time you go into the wild and you remove an animal like this, for example, with tortoises, I'm just gonna let them walk back in there. You have a creature that's very long-lived. And if you're long-lived, you tend not to reproduce as fast as the creatures that basically get a quick window on our Earth. And if you pull a tortoise out, it literally could take that environment 40, 50 years to replace that turtle, to have a turtle grow up, survive predation, and become a successfully reproducing adult. Do I have something nice to show you? Something nice, but something very venomous. In fact, a creature I have to be extremely careful with. Nice. Take a look at this. You're looking at one of only 2 venomous species of lizards in the world. In fact, this is the only venomous lizard in North America. It's the Gila monster. What a great lizard. Just look at this creature. It's got some nice size. This is a nice hefty adult right here. Now, these animals are real masters at living in the desert. If you see a Gila monster, there's 2 things you gotta do. One, count your lucky stars, because it's a rare thing to find. The other thing you do is respect this creature's space, because it is venomous. Now, the most important reason why it is venomous is to kill the prey it's going to eat. You're not looking at the fastest creature in the world. Basically, it's going after things that range from sleeping lizards to baby rodents, such as baby pack rats. He'll eat eggs, all sorts of things. But the most important thing is that whatever he's eating is not moving too much. And he's got a powerful bite. It's like a vice grip of a bite. When he's in hunt mode or in protection mode, he grabs onto his creature, and then he starts massaging. Now, we're not talking shiatsu, we're talking venom delivery. I just had to wring him out there, because I'm only joking, I didn't wring him out. He just urinated a bit there, and something tells me that'll be
I've been to Arizona several times, and on each trip, I'm amazed at how the wildlife is so well adapted to living in this unforgiving environment.
But unfortunately, this is where our adventure ends. I hope you have a great experience. At least I hope I've left you with an uplifting experience. Until we meet again, I'll see you on the Jeff Corwin Experience.